As a ski instructor, I used to joke if adults lived on skis, they'd be running into the trees. And the kids would be flying by, saying hi, woohoo, and having fun. Okay? And so that is the adult child logic dichotomy. Is that language is babble. It doesn't mean anything. All right? It's the objects that the words map to. There are 6,000 different kinds of language on Earth right that are recognized right now, or different languages, and it's all just the objects are the same in all languages. All right. In this video, if it's about owning your feelings by thinking, using language by time. Okay, so you can separate and you will know what to conduct and what to be, and we'll leave the world better, me and you. Okay, and so there's two classes of objects: Earth kind objects and mankind objects. No other species has, their own biology is what I call it. I call this conduct biology, and this is natal biology. Okay, in this instance. And so right now, what needs us to exist is mixed with where we came from. And so we're breaking it apart with gTime. Time separates it. Galileo time. Okay, Earth and Sun. You see it right there? And mankind, 2014 at this time. All right? Now, so you can now take and look at your, in your mind, you have to map every word to an object until the objects override, and you find that you actually realize that words are just a bunch of babble and programming. We are conducted by what needs us to exist when we should be conducting it. And so every word in your mind is either an object or nil. There's only one class of objects that have nil objects, and that's mankind. All right? And so we're talking thinking binary. And so if you want to own your feelings, you've got to think with objects, because if we don't own our feelings in this short life, we own nothing. Okay? That's the only thing in the world that we even have really a chance of owning is our feelings. And that's the same when you're skiing, or water skiing, whatever. Is that if you don't own your feelings, you're crashing into trees. And that's where the joke comes from. If adults lived on skis, they'd be running into trees. All right, and so every thought in your mind has to be brought to a binary level. Okay, and you do this with the method I call head flagging. If you have a less than good thought inside, head flag it. That's because your objects are mixed up. All right, you got to figure out. We only live for a second or two in the real true scope of time. This Earth's been revolving the sun for billions of years. All right, and we live for just that's it, nothing. But we as G-timers of the tech age have a great chance to leave this world better. Never be, it's like we're capturing tech age fire here. Okay? And so you always want to be growing purity. That means that you're thinking with objects, you're separating them. Once you start separating the words in your mind by time, you start owning your feelings and you remember how to think with objects. We're all born thinking with objects. And the only way that the kids are going to be like tech age natives of Earth is if we evolve them above us instead of below us. Because that's what we've been doing with all of our with every generation, is that we're taking the kids below us. And so us as the adults that are lucky to be alive today, is that once you start growing purity, because you say basically what you have to do is you evict all language from your head. Don't trust any of it. Okay, I'll make another post on how to separate by syllables and things like that. But this one is all about feeling, and if we gotta own our feelings. If you have a less than good thought, head flag. If you have a less than good thought about another person, there's something wrong with you. The cancer is in you. Okay? And so if you're not growing purity for the rest of your days on Earth because you think with two classes of objects, then, why are you even alive? You're really not even alive. You're treated like cancer in your own body. Because we're a full body. When I ski or when I'm doing tricks and stuff, is that I'm one. My brain consists of my whole body. It's just not up here. All of us are connected as one. Well, you can live every day of your life like that if you just treat words as object maps. We are brainwashed with 12 plus years of school to be magic words, to be grunts generated from our extra biology. Okay, and so you have to break that cycle and take ownership of the world, to be one within ourselves. Is because if you think with objects, nobody could tell you how to. Nobody owns you. No words own you, and you don't defend any words of the past. You live your day, and you are confident. You grow children. You're like one with the earth, just like these guys. See, these guys are just, they live as design and they know it. This is little Lily. Okay, and so, but you'll feel the same way. We're from Earth. We're not from a tech-generated, paradigm from 2014. And we got to stop brainwashing our kids into it. And so, using language by time. The language is Babel. All right? We have Earth-kind objects and we have mankind objects. All right? They're mixed up with language. Once you bust them apart, you see that mankind objects contains a lot of nil objects, which you should be conducting instead of being conducted by. Okay? And when you're talking about your next step is owning your feelings. You do that with head flags. If you have a less than good thought, head flag. That's how I got here. And so until you are pretty soon, you're growing purity all the time because you keep head flagging out the bad programming. Okay? And so anyway, this is our one chance of life to own our feelings. If we don't own our feelings, we own nothing. And you own your feelings. And how do you know you own your feelings? It's how we're born. We're born thinking with objects. All right? We're object-oriented thinkers. All right, then we're procedurally programmed to be from 2014 with magic mankind words. And then now, us, gTimers of the tech age, we are returning back to object-oriented logic. Okay? And so I love you, and come on, man, let's leave this world better. We can do it. All the tools are here. They're made for the kids. We got mixed up. Let's break them apart. Evolve the children above us. We are gTimers of the tech age. We will never be right, but we did right. Love you, friends.